Hello, podcast listeners. This is episode 7 of the NBA season, thoughts and predictions, aka TAP. We're going to be going over two main things, Houston and the Los Angeles Lakers brawl, or as some people call it, a basketball game. And we're also going to be going over the Celtics and Raptors, and we might talk about a couple other things on the way. But first, we're going to go over whatever the heck happened in the Staples Center because I think that's what most people who listen to this probably want to hear about. So we're gonna start with that. So where we left off before we hit record, what was Brandon Ingram doing? Uh, I don't know what he thought with the whole running up behind. I might go and get like some I might go pull up some film for the podcast listeners to watch if they're
I was
looking at the
just
YouTube
looking
preview.
at it
But
on a highlights video on YouTube, and literally, I had to watch like a few times because I was just like, who does he even hit when he comes in? He might hit his own teammate for all I know.
it looks like he was trying to get a shot in. It looked like he was trying to get a
Yeah.
shot in on like CP3 or
Chris Paul.
something. Or
He
yeah,
got Chris Paul.
I think he
got
was trying to
Chris
get Chris Paul.
You can't even tell if he got him because like he just runs.
I mean,
in, just
okay, so there was an
slams.
angle. There was an angle from behind where you can see him
Yeah.
like run up on them, run up on like the little like fucking blob that was forming.
He got
And
CP3. I can guarantee you that. He got
yeah,
him.
does anybody have that behind angle?
I have the angle from the side where it shows him just
There-
running.
I saw
sprinting across the
one
court.
angle from behind, and it looked like he definitely got CP3.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
saw
find
what,
it.
What Rondo
Ingram's upset.
from that angle. Then as soon as you can kind of, and I see it cuts out where it kind of shows Ingram start sprinting in, and it cuts.
Ingram also pushed Harden during a dead ball.
He pushed to begin with. That was what it started it, and then they all started getting each other's face, and then I guess it was Chris Paul just pointed at him.
Yeah, he pushed Harden because Harden was complaining that he didn't get the and one. Like
Yeah.
Harden has been whining all game about
Goodbye, Harden.
Harden, the way he plays basketball is
first
just
of all,
ugly.
Okay, and like Harden always does that. Like, what's new?
I mean, Harden's gonna complain about not getting and ones. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
okay, so like
You know who Harden is? He gets like the most free throws a game, like all the time. Like he's
yeah,
gonna
players are
complain
sick
about
of
that.
that. Players are sick of that. Fans are sick
They're
of
sick
that.
of it, but they shouldn't foul him too.
Yeah, but they shouldn't start throwing hands because of it, you know.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, okay. Here, okay. I got a pretty decent angle from behind. I'm gonna post it in the chat.
But they didn't win in the end. They didn't win the fight, and they didn't win.
Okay, here, let me post this angle in the chat. If you go to like 27 seconds into this video, you can kind of see it. So go look at that. Yeah, he runs up from behind and he tries to get. I think he tried to either get. Was it? Did he look like he tried to get PJ Tucker?
He got Chris Paul. He got Chris Paul.
Yeah, was he? Okay, yeah. He was trying to get Chris Paul. Yeah, Chris Paul was like right in front of PJ Tucker.
Why would he get anyone else? Chris Paul is the one who is squaring up with Rondo.
Yeah, but like at the moment, it kind of looks like he was.
Yeah,
he got Chris Paul.
Get in between him, like they start like already like getting into it. And they're moving around. So I feel like he just like miss someone and just like maybe knock his own team because they really like split them up. Like it was like simultaneous, like that LeBron like pulled Rondo away as like he came in. So I wasn't sure if he actually got him or not in the end.
But look, Ingram's reach was impressive.
Yeah.
And I have a malice at the Palace index.
When you come from behind on someone, they don't really move.
Yeah, I got a malice at the Palace index, and for Ingram, it's pretty high. Like, and you saw Lance. The funny thing there was that Lance Steven was like the first one to like tell Ingram to like calm down. It's like this is not the time to do this.
Who's holding on to him? Like Carmelo and like another Rockets are holding
At first it was Lance, and then Lonzo came.
But in the end, it was literally two Rockets players just grabbing onto Ingram and like pulling him away. And it was like Carmelo and someone else. Carmelo was like probably telling him like, dude, like grow up, you kid. Like he's not fighting. Like,
I just don't get what Ingram was thinking, trying to run up to them and like just land a shot in on C. Like I know that Rondo like started CP3 or Rondo like started throwing.
Your teammates back, man. You gotta have.
I get it, but like.
Yeah, then why are you saying I don't get?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, like Rondo started like Rondo and CP3 got into a little altercation. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but and then Ingram just runs up from behind. Like, if Ingram wants to like get involved, he needs to like try at least like just pulling Rondo away or something, or like do like what LeBron did, and just start pulling CP3. Well, not okay. Well,
Uh,
maybe
uh,
Ingram shouldn't have been pulling CP3 away, but like Ingram maybe should have been like just pulling like Rondo away instead of trying to run up
that's
and
why what
throw a
he wanted
hook.
to. He wanted to get one at CP3.
Yeah, but like, why would he try and do that
Look,
instead of just
Ingram
like
is real.
pulling him
That's because
away?
Ingram is real. They're two types of players. They're the fake ones and they're the real ones. And Ingram showed that he's real in this game.
I mean, well, he's gonna be real enough to get a suspension, that's for sure.
Well, he's gonna get a suspension. Which let's get to that. Let's get to the suspension. Let's
Okay,
get to
sure,
basketball.
sure, sure,
Let's
sure.
get to the basketball game that was played for the other 47
They
minutes.
have should we talk about the Rondo CP3 spitting incident or whatever?
No. Everybody's like playing detective work on that right now.
Okay, sure.
Like just go on Twitter.
All right. So what do you want to get to?
So I think I'm gonna start with Lonzo because the suspensions I think will affect Lonzo the most because he's gonna start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't. It was confirmed he was in a minutes restriction,
Mhm.
and I think on the first game against Portland he was pretty bad. But in Houston he was much better. He
Yeah.
gave some energy. He was shooting. In these two games he shot more threes than the starters
He was
combined.
shooting
Which
threes really well. That's what I noticed.
yeah,
That he was
he's
getting some catch
been
and shoot ones
yeah,
too.
and the defense for which is a point about the Lakers season so far. Lonzo has been bringing the defense in, like in switches, uh, in rotations. He's been doing it better than anyone else on the Lakers right now. And last year, when Lonzo was playing, the defense was much better when with him on the floor than with him without. So I think Lonzo starting will bring the identity back to the Lakers that they need, which Lonzo is still the like this is LeBron's team, sure, but Lonzo is the identity of the team. He's how Luke wants to play.
Sure. I think one of the things about Lonzo I think people kind of overlook sometimes is the fact that he's so willing to shoot from distance, and that's important. Because like, cause like you compare him to a guy like maybe Markel, or you compare him to even
Yeah,
Ingram sometimes. Like, they're left open from distance, or they get a clear look at it,
yeah,
and they like decide to like dribble drive it in. Or like, one thing when I was watching the Spurs against Portland yesterday, where the Portland kind of blew out the Spurs, is where DeMar DeRozan was left completely wide open from three on the wing. And he just started dribbling in, and I'm like, you can't do that. Like, you gotta like just let that thing fly sometimes. He's gonna have games where he goes one of seven from three. Lonzo will, and he's gonna have games where he goes 6 of 10 from three. San Antonio last year, but I think having that confidence to just stroke it and just kind of put that ish up is really important. It puts some pressure on the defense, and if he can get it going, then the team is way better for it. So the fact that he's like ready and willing to take those and be confident about it is super important for a team, I think.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
is Rondo hitting threes going to become a thing now?
I don't know. I would say like kinda maybe.
Lonzo hitting threes, you meant?
No, I
Oh,
meant
you
Rondo.
said
Rondo was
Rondo.
hitting threes
Rondo,
too.
but Rondo he doesn't take them as high volume as Lonzo.
Yeah, that is true.
Because
Like Lonzo, he
they're playing off him a lot more. And I'll see that he'll literally go. I've seen him like twice now. It's already this season. He'll literally hit a three because they were just playing off him. I'm just like, you're gonna have to start like kind of coming up a little bit more on him, even though he's gonna start doing that because he can't always get to the rim if he doesn't want to.
wait,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe we're just like we're overlooking that. I've seen that a few times now already this season. He's just going. He's just like literally just shoot it because they don't like want to play him at all.
Lonzo just shooting it.
Yeah.
Well, Lonzo just shooting it is what he has been doing. Like last year, he would just shoot it. Like many games, he would go for like 1 for 10, 2 for 10. He doesn't care. He'll just shoot it, and it creates gravity. As Zero said, it puts pressure on the other team. And now that he can make them, he's a much more dangerous player. And
Well, I don't
like
know. Well, defenses are still gonna go under him until like he has a good sample size where he's shooting like 35% from three or something. Um, so for now, defenses are still going to go under him. But the fact that he's really ready and willing to take those shots and he'll launch it up there, that's still important, even if it's like not going in, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a process.
Hmm.
And also his screen setting, and like you talked, I don't know if it was on this pod, but other places you talk about how Lonzo got thick. But man, that thickness, he's screening like hell. Like just watch those screens. Like
If he
people
could
can't
just if
pass
he could
through
just
those.
finish around the rim a little bit better,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, he still needs to work on that. But in terms of like shooting, it looks like he might be better. Like
Yeah,
he,
like speaking of finishing around the rim, I want to like dedicate a little bit of this towards Josh Hart because
oh yeah,
wow is all I have to say. Just
which
wow.
he might also start
He need no
with
no
Lonzo starting.
he's not just gonna might start. He like needs to start now.
Well, like Luke's logic is that he prefers to pair up KCP with Rondo
Hmm.
than Hart with Rondo, which I guess that makes kind of sense. But uh, Lonzo's not starting because he's being injured a bit. But now that he's gonna have to start, that might change, right now.
Perhaps,
So
yeah, that's a good point.
yeah,
I was,
Josh Hart, he's better than KCP. He should
Oh
start.
yeah.
yeah, he's miles better than KCP at
I was
this
like,
point.
how's KCP been this season? He's been kind of like,
Eh,
He's been shooting bad.
yeah, he's
yeah.
been not so great, not so
They
great.
shoot differently, and I think for this, like currently what the Lakers are running, it's better for Josh Hart because KCP is better at like coming off screens and horns. Josh Hart doesn't do that really. Doesn't do that much. So I think the offense right now is benefited towards Josh Hart.
The
Right.
offense is a bit reminding me of the Spurs, where they just keep passing and passing. It's like just keep the ball
I
moving
think the
behind the screen.
Lakers offense has been more characterized by by cuts and a lot of
Um,
yeah, I think a lot of cuts have been the Lakers
so
offense.
the playbook the Lakers run most is the 1-4 high by UCLA.
Mm.
So the point is like the ball handler will come up. That's the one, and the rest of the four players are going to be like lined up by the free throw line, like two at the elbow and two at either wings. What it gives a lot of passing, like the first 4 seconds of the offense, everybody's gonna touch the ball, but it lacks spacing. That's the biggest critique of it. It it's good for cutting, but it lacks spacing. It's bad for
Like
driving
I
lanes.
noticed that like speaking of spacing and driving lanes, like I'm noticing that LeBron is having a little bit of trouble finishing at the rim just because of the troublesome spacing. Or is that just me? Does anybody else kind of notice that?
I'm
Both
noticing he's probably not as getting there to some degree, but I feel like when they have their offense going, they're passing. Like I saw like with the one, I think it was JaVale McGee assisting
Yeah.
like a
Oh
block
yeah,
to
that was
KCP.
great. That was
yeah.
great.
So
I
I
would
mean, like
say
that's one of those things where I think their offense is getting going. And like while it'd be easier for him just to bully his way to the rim as much as he used to, that offense is passing and they're so young they can keep moving around him.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say driving. I would say in posting up, it
Yeah,
hasn't looked good. Like posting up, there's no weak side. There's no movement.
You're talking
Nobody knows
about
what they're
like
doing.
you're talking about like when LeBron does like those posts up that he did in Cleveland last
Yes,
year.
yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Like it looks bad, but in terms of like driving, like he will only drive when he really can, and then
Right, yeah.
it's he gets
Yeah, I
these
think he lets
opportunities
them do
because they
it.
play so fast that the defense
Yeah,
hasn't set in by the time he gets the ball
yeah,
half court.
but that's the thing, they're playing really fast. A high pace for a half court offense.
I kind of worry about LeBron playing 37, 39 minutes and playing that fast at this point in his
I do
career.
too.
Yeah,
Like, especially over an 82 game regular season where I'm assuming LeBron's not going to rest a whole lot. He's going to rest games, sure. But, like, he's gonna want to, and like but also the thing about it is that this is not like really we're gonna try and compete for a title year unless
right. That's what I'm saying. So, I
so
mean,
I'm just
does
like
he really
I'm
do
just
that
like so
though?
why are we gonna play LeBron 37 to 39 minutes and then have him doing all this running, play like what maybe 70 games of the regular season, probably more, and then the playoffs, probably one playoff series, maybe two, like this puts like it put an into Western Conference as well. Like it's gonna put a lot of strain on his body, man. I kind of
You
worry
know
about that.
how in the finals there was this whole talk about how LeBron learned how to rest in games.
Right?
I see him doing that a lot in these.
That's a good point.
So like the 38 minutes he's playing, it's more like 29, I think. So,
Mm.
but I think that's something that'll need to be balanced
Yeah, he probably shouldn't play
closer
80.
to the
He
season.
definitely should not be playing 82
He
games
won't.
again.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, not this
Yeah.
season. Not this season. Um, so yeah. Anyway, back to Josh Hart real quick. Yeah, he's just been so impressive this season. I think one thing that I really loved about what he's been able to do is just how well. Like, I'm just really impressed. Like, of course he could shoot it. We all know that. But I'm just so impressed at how well he's able to finish around the rim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I noticed. I was
it's
like,
so
wow,
like
like
I'm just like he's just getting these insane finishes, and he doesn't even look like when you look at him, he doesn't even look like he should be getting those finishes. Those are like iron, like those sort of some
No,
tough finishes around contact. Dude just
he's
made
not
Yusuf
that big.
Nurkic look like
He
a
doesn't hump.
revolving door. Like,
yeah, like, I did not think he'd be getting like to the rim like that easily, getting those shots up. So now I'm like, oh wow, I'm like he's
hmm
not that big either.
yeah. Well, what were you saying about him, man?
Um, I forgot, but interesting fact. Since last, if you also count last season, the game against Portland was like his fifth straight 20-point game.
Oh well, yeah, man. That guy is
But yeah,
he's
he,
something.
he he's not like that big, or his leap isn't that high, but he just knows how to go in control.
Yeah, I think is there anything else you want to talk about for the Lakers? JaVale McGee's been pretty effective.
Yeah,
16
he's
points,
been
7
good.
of 11 shooting, 2 or 3
How's
from the
Kuzma
line.
been?
I think JaVale McGee's how good JaVale has been shows that the Lakers need another center. Like they need someone else who can play JaVale minutes.
Mhm.
So they should. I think that they're waiting for someone to get bought out, like
Yeah.
Tyson Chandler or Robin Lopez.
Yeah.
But it'll be nice to have someone else to do that because like the offense just works so well with him. Like to have a big there,
Yeah.
especially when you have someone like Rondo or Lonzo who can just like Rondo just lobs the ball to JaVale and he'll catch it
Right.
and dunk it. It's just great, and he runs the floor in fast breaks. You know he's good for this style to play fast and stuff.
Yeah. Kyle Kuzma, 5 of 13 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 assists. He didn't stand out to me yesterday.
No, his shooting has been bad this season
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah,
He
he's had a slow start to the season to be sure.
yeah.
And hasn't looked like amazing defensively either.
No, he shouldn't play center. So we'll see who if he'll start with Ingram suspended.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that. Who do you think's going to start with assuming Ingram and Rondo get suspended, which they
So
probably will.
Lonzo's is starting. I think
Right,
Josh
Lon's
Hart
gonna
will.
start. Yeah,
I think Josh Hart will start instead of KCP because of Luke likes to pair players,
Mhm.
and maybe Kyle Kuzma will
yeah,
start and LeBron will go back to the small forward,
yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
or maybe Luke will start Josh Hart instead of Brandon Ingram. I could also see
So
that
so
happen.
start KCP and Josh Hart.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I can see that happen.
I would personally go with Lonzo, Josh Hart, LeBron, um Kuzma, and JaVale McGee probably. I guess this also means Michael Beasley will be getting some minutes.
Yeah, he played. Did he play on against Portland?
He
I
played
can't
like
Ingram
remember.
might
I
have
think he
been
played gar I
starting,
think he
right?
played garbage minutes against Portland.
Okay,
What were you saying,
so
Jimmy?
Ingram hasn't been starting, has he?
Who?
no, he's not starting.
No,
Ingram.
he hasn't. He hasn't.
It,
No.
Oh,
maybe we might get some Svi. Svi
Yeah,
Mihaliuk.
it's Mikhailuk. Mikhailuk.
Mikhailuk.
Yeah.
Mikhailuk. Yeah, we're pretty hype about him. He's a really good shooter. So the
Yeah, he could
sooner
be
we can see
interesting.
him on the floor, the better. Like he might be that guy, you know. Oh, what if LeBron needs shooting? He might be one of those guys.
Yeah, he could get some spot minutes. Just based on a rotation being a little bit shorter with those two guys out. But yeah, let's actually talk about a little bit on the Houston end.
Yeah,
So, what we got here? I think one thing I noticed about Houston is um their defense definitely wasn't. They definitely didn't have the defensive problems they did against a team like the Pelicans. So that was a good start for them. Um, they weren't total pushovers on defense or anything. Michael Carter Williams got a couple minutes and then he was subbed out immediately, missing both free throws. 2 minutes, 0 of 2 from the field. I don't know if he'll be playing very much anymore. Um, Gerald Green had a nice game. 13 points, 3 of 4 from three, 5 of 6 from the field. I'm glad I have him in a fantasy league. He's a pretty good option off the bench. You know, you had CP3 before he was ejected with 28 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 of 6 and three. Harden, 36 points actually. 10 and 19 from the field, 5 of 10 from three, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 6 turnovers, 2 steals. Um, so where do we start with this? Just how effective do you think Houston was this game?
Um,
Well, I feel like they had to come back and like show they weren't like as weren't the team that was came out and played against and lost to whoever. I forget. I can't remember who they played on. The Warriors or I forget who it was.
The Pelicans?
Uh, Pelicans, yeah, they couldn't come out and like be like bad, like show like that much again because you're supposed to be like the top two seeds in the West. You got to come out. You got to show you're the team to beat. So I think they're on that way, but I think they should have been scoring a lot more if they're going to be the Houston of last year.
Yeah. There,
The
it
defense
didn't.
wasn't that great. The defense was not that good for the LeBron team last night. To be fair, that was pretty, or not last night, but last night.
I would like to continue from my point I made last time that it didn't look like Houston from last year. They were
Yeah,
playing.
I agree with
The
that.
usage was a bit more distributed. This time it's not the same.
Yeah,
Like the first game, like his usage rate was like at 25%. James Harden is at like 28% right now, which is really low compared to since he came to Houston.
right.
Uh, they've all been above 30%. Last year he was at 36, so uh, they might bring it up a bit. And this game, like James Harden just ate up Brandon Ingram on these ISO plays.
Do you think now that TB3 is going to be suspended, he's going to have that
He will get
usage going to go up
suspended.
again?
Oh,
He's gonna
he's gonna get suspended.
like even if this one game, they're all getting suspended, the three of them.
Right, I'm saying because if he's suspended, that you think the usage will go up then with that, or will he
Well,
suspended for any expanded period of time?
when Chris Paul is out, yeah, I bet his
They
usage
they
rate will
they
go.
could start to look like Houston, a little bit more like Houston from 2 years ago.
But will
Right.
they? Yeah, but will they like try to continue this through the rest of the season? Which I think we last game they actually yeah I think they will try to go with less iso ball with and rely on Harden and Paulus. I think that's what they're
Mhm.
going for.
Yeah, Melo didn't look great to me out there. He was a plus 23, but I think he just kind of benefited from the lineups he was in. 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from three. 10 rebounds though. I do like how he was pretty aggressive getting rebounds, so that's a thing. Um, oh yeah, one random thing that I forgot to mention. I like how Lonzo was like trying to go for rebounds and like trying to get the offensive boards. Like he was kind of standing under the basket and trying to get there. But actually,
Yeah, that's his game.
yeah, no, it kind of reminded me a lot of DeJounte. Hope he has a quick recovery, but kind of reminded me a lot of what DeJounte would do when he was healthy. And DeJounte Murray of the Spurs. And but
Stud.
what I will say is that Melo did a pretty decent job trying to getting down those boards. So yeah, that is worth something. 9 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. So that's something. Uh, Eric Gordon, pretty okay. Well, not a great game for Gordon, but
Yeah, disappointing. He's in
yeah,
my fantasy league. I thought he'd do better.
yeah. This was a pretty unusual game for him. 9 points, 4 of 13
Yeah,
from the field.
0 for 4 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harden.
that's
I was
bad.
really afraid that Houston was going to crumble once CB3 went out, but Harden actually did a pretty great job, um, finishing the fight without CP3. So good on him for that.
No, he was hot all game. Like he was getting all sorts of calls. Like you run through a screen, they call a 3-point shot foul on Harden. Just
hmm
not right.
I remember he blew past LeBron for a dunk at one
Yeah, he did.
point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just Harden's game right there.
Yeah.
Uh, Capella Capella was getting a little. Capella
Capella's
was
Capella
getting
still getting
bothered.
was
his.
getting his just fine, honestly, on JaVale McGee. That's what I thought. JaVale McGee had no answer for Capella at all. He could do
Yeah.
whatever he wanted whenever he
I'd
wanted
say
down there.
JaVale. I think JaVale McGee gave him a few problems, like just like a little bit here and there.
I don't know. Like a lot of times when you get the ball, they were getting the ball in pretty good spots, but he was just literally going up with it like hardly even like trying to double clutch it even all. He was like, oh, just going right up there.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think he had much trouble with JaVale McGee at all, to be honest with you.
Mm, okay.
Well, I mean, it's how they play. Like, yeah, the defense of the Lakers have been bad so far.
Yeah,
That's overall like,
yeah. But I
and
mean, you
I'll
hope
say
that
LeBron is part of the problem.
yeah, just hope that with like as the season goes on, they figure out how to be how what they are defensively because I mean their like wings and guards are can be pretty good defensive for them. So I feel like they just need to they'll be able to figure it out eventually. They have to make it a good defensive team regardless.
If they do what they did last year, they'll be fine defensively. But other than that, that's I guess that's all to say about the Lakers.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder if LeBron is going to be able to help that
We'll
out
see.
defensively.
Well, he has to.
Yeah, hopefully. Guess we can move on to Celtics Raptors. Said enough about that. So Celtics and Toronto Raptors played a few days ago on Friday. Raptors won 113 to 101. Very, very defensive game. Um, Teams are having trouble scoring on each other the whole time. Kawhi Leonard exploded for 31 points, 10 rebounds, 2 of 5 from 3, 9 from the line, 3 assists, a steal. Looked great. Danny Green, 14 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Good stuff to the former Spurs. Serge Ibaka, I noticed. I think he was kind of the man of the game outside of Kawhi. Um, Serge Ibaka, 21 points, 10 of 14 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Just got a lot of Serge Ibaka himself just kind of got a lot of little bunnies around the hoop. He was getting the ball in the right places and he was just able to convert well. So Serge Ibaka
Doesn't
looking
help
a
they
lot
lost
better.
Aaron Baines early though.
Hmm.
Doesn't help they lost Aaron Baines.
Hmm. Wait, did he get injured?
Yeah,
Oh, I
he hurt
didn't
his
notice that.
hamstring in the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He only played 15 minutes in the game.
yeah. For the Celtics, team high score was Kyrie, 21 points, 10 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 6 assists. And then Gordon Hayward, kind of all right, 14 points. He only played 24 minutes. 14 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 7 rebounds. So what is there to say here? Oh yeah, Tatum, 16 points, 6 of 16 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. So what is there to say about this game? Definitely felt like an Eastern Conference Finals preview. Uh, just we expected this to be a battle between two very good defensive teams, and it was. Points are kind of inflated currently, but if you scale this down like per 100 possessions, and the score is probably like in the 90s for both teams, maybe. So, yeah, what were your some of your reactions to this game, guys?
I thought that Kyrie is still not shooting well at all, and it's been carrying over from like last season. It's just not been doing. I don't know what's going on with him. It's been a huge slump, and I don't know what he's gonna do to get out of that, but it needs to change. He needs to start scoring.
He did have some
Like
nice finishes, but he's not quite there yet, I guess.
his shooting touch is really just not there at this time. I don't know if it's just bad luck or what,
Yeah.
but it's been really bad so far. Um, Beyond that, I guess I feel like Jason Tatum is doing pretty well despite other things around the team. But I also think Jalen Brown is not doing very well. He has not carried over from last year as much as I thought he would.
Yeah, I think it was just gonna be kind of inevitable that someone would suffer from both Kyrie and Horden. Gordon Hayward being back. So maybe Jaylen Brown's gonna be that person. I've been really surprised at how well Jason Tatum's been picking up from where he left off with
Yeah.
those guys coming back, because he's already had like some 20-point games. So,
Tatum has been making some tough shots,
oh
like
yeah,
Yeah.
in the
oh
Oh
last
yeah,
and
yeah, for
stuff.
sure.
oh yeah.
But Brown still gives that intensity. Like he's an intense player, and in the last game where he dunked on Embiid, that was
You
something. Like
mean
I
where the ball got blocked and it went in?
yeah, but and then he like pulled or pushed Embiid down as if he was like trying to get re-aggravate all of Embiid's injuries.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely played with that intensity.
I think Brown will end up fine,
Yeah, he will. He will. He's gonna get
or
he'll
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 get
get
traded.
he'll get paid big by some team. He might get a bit below max. He'll get paid big, and he's gonna flourish on some other team or this one if they decide to keep him, which they're probably not
Yeah.
gonna be able to afford him. But anyway, um, yeah, Jason Tatum's already worth the max, by the way. That's something.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's unbelievable. And what else did I notice? Fred VanVleet struggled a little bit, but he was all right. Kyle Lowry has been on fire to start the season. I've noticed. 15 points for him, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from three, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Just looks great out there. Um, yeah, I guess we can talk about Kawhi. Uh, he started off a bit slow in the first half, but then like I think it was like either in the second quarter or the second half, like he just picked it up and he went off. Ended up with 35, 10 of 25 from the field, 2 of 5 from three. Um, yeah, he rested the next game against Washington on a back-to-back, but I don't know. He might be back, so we'll have to keep an eye on Kawhi. He was moving pretty decently out there, so yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be if he can definitely recover the same type of defense he was playing in the 2016-17 season in San Antonio's defensive player of the year type defense and score like that, then that's something. Oh, I've also noticed about Kawhi that his rebounding has been pretty awesome so far.
Yeah,
I think
Kawhi has looked
he's
good.
yeah, I think he's already averaging a double double with
Yeah,
points and
points and
rebounds.
rebounds.
Yeah.
How much do you say rebounds this game?
He had 10.
10. So last game,
He's averaging 11 rebounds right now, yeah.
okay, so
He's
yeah,
averaging
then that's
27
good.
and a half points and 11 rebounds, so yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Good at free throws. He's getting to the rim. He's getting to the free throw line.
Yep. So yeah, what else is there to say about that game? I feel like
Real quick.
what?
Yeah, go on.
I feel like Gordon Hayward. He looked all right, but there were just some points where I was like, he just looked kind of unsure of himself at some points. Uh,
Hayward is also out for next game.
yeah. No, no, the Celtics played the Knicks,
Yeah,
and
Yeah. Sorry, that was who they. Yeah, I was one mainly injured. Mainly injured against the Knicks. That's what I was thinking of. But
yeah,
yeah, he's out now.
yeah.
So
Hayward
that's
has
gonna be.
been not looking great, and the kind of shots he's been getting is like he's not like Kawhi is taking the load of the offense. Hayward is not, and Hayward is just like driving in and pulling up from mid range, and those shots don't look
Yeah,
good
those are.
physically.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of really bad shots just in general. So
Also, the way he shoots it seems sluggish. I don't know. Maybe that's just how he shoots.
yeah, I'm not sure.
what are you gonna say, man?
About
You're gonna say something
oh yeah,
about
real quick. Did the Raptors change their like jerseys or floor plan from this year since last?
I don't
The red looks different,
I could have sworn like it's like the same jersey from last year.
but the floor plan like the red looks different.
Hmm, that's interesting.
I like this red better. I'm gonna.
Yeah, the Raptors are also getting that white OVO jersey from last year, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I yeah, it's something.
I,
No, it's the
I mean,
same.
the Raptors look like a pretty good. They're trying to be the best team in the Eastern Conference, so I feel like they're accomplishing that fairly well right now.
Yeah, they're on their way. I just kind of want to see what Boston looks like once Kyrie and Hayward are like really back. Cause
I
they
this shooting slump man is just killing him. Like, I really don't get what's up with him.
this what? Oh,
Like
the shooting
I
form.
the shooting slump with
Mm.
Kyrie. I just don't get it. Like he hasn't been very good. It's been for a while. I don't know what's going on with him.
Well, it's
And
Kyrie knee.
hmm,
It's I don't know. And yes, the floor plan is a bit different. It's lighter this year,
Oh, okay.
less like those dark wood accents, and the red is lighter. So yeah,
That's interesting.
I like it. I like the touch.
Hmm.
Bit irrelevant, but
I don't really care. The court.
Yeah.
it's like 100% of what you're watching. Well, Kyrie shot 10 for 20 this game,
He did.
so
It's not
but he
awful, I
didn't
guess.
not a single free throw attempt.
Nope.
Actually, the whole Boston team 10 free throw attempt, which I don't know if that's something to pay attention to.
Yeah, maybe just something to keep an eye on. Uh, yeah. I mean, I just kind of want to wait and see what Boston looks like. Maybe like halfway through the season until they declare the Raptors clearly better than them or something. Um, yeah. So I think I'm gonna like hold off on that for a while. I mean, right now, I mean, even Brad Stevens noted, like I'm pretty sure he had an interview and he talked about it. Brad Stevens noted that the Raptors are just clearly better at this point. And we remember last season when Brad Stevens said, the 16 game win streak, it's not as good as it looks. And then the Celtics struggled a little bit. So it might be another one of those things. And then by the end of the year, playoff time, they put it together. So that's kind of what I'm assuming is going to happen with the Celtics. And I'm assuming they're just going to be a little bit better than the Raptors at that point. But I don't know. With Kawhi, looks like he's going to be in MVP form this year. So if that holds true, then who knows what could happen.
Well, in the NBA, just having the best player is just much more important than depth.
That's true.
And it's not like the Raptors lack in depth. They're a really deep team, and Kawhi is much better than any player on the Celtics. So I gotta have them have us the favorites for the East. I just do.
Mm. Yeah, I don't blame anybody who has Raptors as a favorite currently. So that's a pretty fair opinion to have. Um, yeah, shoot. I think it's about all I had to go over for the Celtics and Raptors. Yeah. Were there any other interesting games that came on, or? Oh, I guess you
Nikola
can. What?
The the Nuggets game.
Let's mention. Yeah, let's mention Nikola Jokic. Let's give him a shout out.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we should definitely talk about Jokic. So
he
Jokic,
deserves it.
amazing. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. So Jokic, crazy performance yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. Um, one of the highest game scores of all time. He had what? He had
30,
35
35
points
points.
on 11 of 11 shooting, 3 of 3 from 3, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals and a block, no turnovers. Plus minus 29. I don't know what his game score was, but I know that was insane as well.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matter.
Just like, oh my god, like I knew Jokic. Like, I'm glad I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. I just shoot. I just don't even know. Like, I really just don't even know how good this guy could get. Is what I'm gonna say. Like, we
he's been able to
knew
play.
that he could possibly take another step this season, but it looks like, but that's one heck of a step right there. So.
I mean, how much better? Like, is he historically better than the best centers to play the game already? No, he's not. So when it's all said and done, he could be like a Hakeem or something like that.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be possible to like build like a championship team around him at
Why
some
wouldn't? I
point.
think so.
I mean, it's just weird because like with centers nowadays, like typically you have to build championship teams around like perimeter players or wings.
Well, Jokic is the point forward of the future.
The
Point center, sorry,
center,
point
yeah,
center.
perhaps.
Uh,
I mean, with the fact that he can shoot threes at a very good clip, it might be possible if you put the right teammates around him. But that's something to look at seriously now. Like, typically now you kind of shrug off like, can a team build a championship team around like a center, especially with the Warriors existing. Like, if we assume the Warriors don't exist in a few years, like the Warriors don't exist in a few years, once Jokic reaches the peak of his powers, I would assume, then hey, maybe it's possible. Maybe they can do something in Denver there.
if a center is the top five player in the NBA, then yes, you can build a championship team around the center.
Yeah,
The
I
problem,
agree
like
too.
this whole, you know, pace and space era, point guards dominating the league era, like there hasn't been like a historically great center to enter the league. The last great center was Shaq, and since then we've had the best top five in uh, top five in small forwards, top five in shooting guards, top five in point guards, but we haven't had the top five power forward or center since the last generation. We just haven't. Maybe and this generation of coming centers with Jokic and Towns and Embiid, like they could get in there. I think.
I think if we call AD a center,
Yeah, but
then
he's
he's
not
probably a top five player.
historically.
Oh,
Uh,
oh,
well,
you
well,
mean
yeah,
historically? Never mind.
well, yeah, that's the thing with AD. Like he hasn't been wanting to play center, but I think with the Pelicans, like they have a since last playoffs was really good, they have a new identity and seems to have carried over this year.
Right.
Yeah, and I
So
think
yeah,
AD has been more willing to play center as well.
so yeah, I think you can build a championship team around AD. Like
Yeah,
if the Pelicans know how to, they can. But
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, Jokic. He could be even better this year, which is scary to think about. Cause like on those last, that last run of games, I think he was like either averaging a triple double or extremely close to it. He was putting up like
He
all
didn't
these
make the
triple doubles. That was just insane.
It's crazy they didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they missed the playoffs too. Like that's crazy.
Like that to me is just like they could go from being a non-playoff team to be like a home court advantage team.
They could. They most certainly could. Will Barton seems to have hurt a pop in his leg though. I think,
Ooh.
yeah, Will Barton. There was a little bit of an injury with him, so we're not sure. So we're gonna have to see how long it holds him out. Nuggets play Golden State tonight, actually, and
ooh,
like
home or
Should be a good
away,
game.
it's a home game.
home game. So that's a keep like
I'm
happening.
betting the Nuggets will probably blow them out or something. Um,
If the Warriors came in early, then they probably won't.
hmm.
Like it's just a matter of how long have you been in
In
Denver
in the
before the
altitude
game?
pretty much. Yeah.
No, that
Like
makes sense.
last season, there was a reverse home game where the Warriors came in one day before the Nuggets because the Nuggets were had an away game the night before and the Warriors blew them away. So
Yeah.
that happens.
They need to adjust. They need to adjust to it. But I feel like if I do think that the Warriors probably will come in here trying to win the first two games of the season because they are trying just to coast right now. They want to at least get some wins right away.
Maybe. I mean, the Warriors did start off 1-2 last year, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, I'm I think one of those games that got just like blown out by the Grizzlies or something, and they started off 1-2, and then we all know how that story ended. They already have 2 wins currently, so I don't think this is even at the beginning of the season. I don't even think this is too consequential to them. Um, that's the only problem I have with the Warriors games. Like I was just kind of like bored watching. Like I guess we can sort of mention Utah and Golden State. The ending of that game was pretty fun. I was just kind of like watching it to
Yeah,
the
like I was watching
side,
the
but
Utah Golden State game a lot, and I was like, that game was really good. So I was like, hey, like at least they beat Utah. Like usually they lost by like what 30 and 40 the year before. So I mean, I feel like that's something to say like, hey, We win this place we didn't win last year. We beat them this year, so clearly we're trying to some degree if we're gonna win.
Yeah, they like came back like 20 points down or something like it was nothing.
Yeah,
That
well,
team,
that's what
man.
they should do. But I mean, but this is the Jazz, so you gotta at least pay attention to that somewhat. Say, hey, this is a good defensive team that they just kind of came back on. They should have been. This game should have been over like in the third, pretty much.
I mean, do they really need to pay attention though? I'd argue we don't know anything about them until the playoffs. So.
The Jazz? Well,
The Warriors.
oh, the Warriors. Can I get something to the Jazz real quick?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Are they getting a little bit overrated this season, like people are saying, or are they the second best team in the league?
I don't know, man.
Second best team in the league is definitely overrating them.
That's probably overrated. I feel like the fact that they're staying offensively with the Warriors that's not bad. I mean, it wasn't like they got blown out themselves. They could score enough points. I mean, I thought that was a team that really wasn't going to be able to score enough points to maybe make it competitive. They would be defensively good, may not offensively good. I think they're playing offensively better than they have. I expect them to be this year. So that's how I feel so far.
I'd still expect them to be a home court team in the West. And that's if they're a home court team in the West, I think that's about where I'd expect them to be. That's all I expect them to be, just a home court team in the West.
Again, this is also saying that the West is really, really like just there's a lot of I think just again like I think something makes sense for like seeds like 4 through 8 are gonna be like separated by like maybe like 3 wins at most.
Right.
Like, they're gonna be doing a lot of like teams are gonna be just really right around each other in the West. I think.
Yeah.
So the Utah Jazz are not the second best team in the West. It's still Houston, right?
I'd say probably, yeah.
Yeah,
They are or they're not.
they are not.
They're
Zero?
not the second best team in the West.
All right,
no.
good. Yeah. Donovan Mitchell, will he sneak into the All-Star game?
In
I
the
believe
West,
so.
probably not.
Yeah.
I think he's still a little bit too inefficient.
Will Utah fans whine about how nobody loves the Jazz because Mitchell will not make the All-Star game?
That makes no sense. I mean, literally the Spurs may not have any All Stars this year. Like that's.
Don't they name someone in the end to like the West? Oh, they don't like just name like a few players or whatever. I feel like he get named by.
I mean, dudes might get injured, and Mitchell will be right there. So there you go.
Well, in that scenario.
Yeah.
I feel like he will get in to some degree, and they won't actually be that big of a deal about it. I feel like he will get in somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like the NBA like All-Star is almost as much a popularity contest. He's pretty popular at this point. Like it's not like he's just some like pretty good player. The's pretty popular too as well. So I feel like he'll get votes regardless. And obviously Jazz will just load the ballot for their player anyway. So
Yeah, but the public doesn't pick the starters. Only the. I mean, the public doesn't. Yeah, the public picks the starters only, but not the rest of the team.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still
So
feel
it's
like
gonna be up to coaches.
right. I still feel like he definitely could get a selection from a coach. I feel.
Actually, yeah, I could see like if the Jazz are like the third seed by All-Star
Yeah,
game.
I feel like if his
A
team is
coach
playing
will give-
well,
will-
the
will
coach will
give-
definitely pick him. Like he's
Yeah.
one of the third best teams in the West. The coach will definitely pick him. He's
Yeah, the
he's
coach
probably the
will-
best player on that team too.
Yeah, either him or Rudy Gobert.
Right. Like I feel like they're definitely gonna get one player in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, yeah. If the Jazz are the third, they have to. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
That's
point.
because it can't be all Warriors. Like that can be every Warrior. Like, maybe it could be because it's those players, but like I just can't imagine they're gonna take some of these Jazz stars that they're like that good of a team. Like I mean obviously LeBron's gonna make it, obviously, but like who else from the Lakers can make it?
Right.
So I feel like they'd have to just get some of these like top teams, get some new players in there because otherwise it will be like they're gonna just take most of the starting lineup from the Warriors, which probably will happen anyway. So
Yeah.
I could see Clay not making the All-Star team.
And I think Draymond's most
Probably,
likely not to
yeah.
make it out of the Warriors
Clay
starters.
has been
Trey's
disappointed.
pretty good.
I think Clay
Trey's
will make it.
disappointing.
He's been disappointing for my fantasy team this year.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think that about does it. I guess we can look at It's so funny the Rockets are playing the Clippers today, but there's no a lot of those guys on the Clippers are gone, unfortunately. Um, the Rockets are playing the Clippers tonight. It's fun. I guess I'll be catching a little bit of Denver Golden State, and then I guess Spurs Lakers can be one to watch for the upcoming week. Any other interesting games? Maybe Minnesota Toronto if Butler plays. Um, what else we got coming up for this week?
No good Celtics game.
Uh, what do we have for the Celtics? We got they're playing the Magic, so no. And let me look at who else they're playing this week. No NBA, not stats plays page. Let me look at the Celtics schedule. Um,
Oh, Jason Tatum got 14 rebounds in the next game. That's impressive.
oh, they're playing at Oklahoma City on Thursday. That's kind of interesting. Russell Westbrook should be back by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
The Thunder, they're still. What's their record right now?
0-2.
How bad did they need Westbrook?
I guess they do.
How is Dennis Schroeder doing this year?
Um,
Bad.
he had a pretty decent game against the Warriors, and then the next game was just bad.
Yes, it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably do need Russell Westbrook back. I mean, that team with one superstar
Yeah,
isn't like that
they're
good.
playing the
So
Kings tonight, and I think they're just gonna not. I think they're just gonna hold out Westbrook, which is probably the right decision.
I mean, what are
Um,
they right now besides a less efficient form of the Pacers?
what'd you say?
So what are they right now besides a less efficient form of the Pacers? All they have is Paul George.
Yikes. Yeah, I'm assuming they're probably just gonna hold him out against the Kings, which they should probably do. And hopefully they don't lose.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so we'll figure out some games to watch and we'll come report on them. Maybe next time we convene, we'll do some season predictions. Just like write them down so we can read off of them real quick next time.
All right.
All right, all right, good talk, guys. I will catch everyone later. See ya.
See
See
you.
ya.